Where every passage ends, a new road begins. The further I descend, your labyrinth. Blind eyes in the darkness, frail hands reaching out, sword echoes in the smoke as the doors behind me close. No cure for the madness, each turn tangled in the fear of losing sight of the slowly fading light. The further I descend, your labyrinth.
And welcome back to Talent League. It's map 2 now. We've just finished map 1 between Ruhrsports and Aero Revolution, which was a 7-3 victory towards Ruhrsports, if I'm correct. But my memory is very bad, so do not quote me on that. But as we move on to the second game of Consulate, actually, before we get into the second game of Consulate, there's actually a few stats, or not stats, but just some things to keep in mind from the first game. And looking at the scoreboard ratings, which I've pulled up here, you can see that from the team of Ruhr Esports, it was a team performance unusually. Like everyone's pulling around 7 to 8 kills, no one's popping off really well, and a solid team performance by them. And in comparison, you can look at Aero, who had, I think, Leiko and Kafu popping off really well, getting 10 plus kills in both 10 plus kills, and Venoms as well having a solid performance overall. But this is the match they need to win. It's do or die for Aero. If they want to salvage that 1 point to make their 3 points to the board for 3 draws, they need to win this next game onto Consulate. Ruhrsports have the momentum, they have the first map, and on to do the Aero.
Just want to say that Vor is unbeatable, and they won everything they played. And also, I want to add on to that that Arrow never lost; they only draw. They don't win too. So this is going, this is going towards this draw, man. That's what I'm seeing here. And Consulate is just very different from Villa, so it could be anyone's game, as far as I'm concerned. And also, Consulate is not a map that you play as often, so it's a little bit harder to predict, right? Because if the next map would have been Oregon, I would have said, all right, Four probably has the advantage here because that's the map that we play a lot.
Oregon.
And usually, the better team is better at the map that we play a lot. But when we're going to more niche maps that the teams don't play as much, at that point, it's definitely a gray area and you don't really know. So right
Yep.
now, it's anyone's game. It's not really anyone's game. It's either Roar's game or it's a draw.
Yeah, basically. There's not much of
And
surprise about that. Yeah.
and anything can happen right now, as far as I'm concerned. So it looks like all the players are in the lobbies here and they're ready to start. So we're gonna start here as soon as possible. Looks like we already started. Thank you, Trippin, for that. And we're just gonna head right in. So console it is, and looks like Roar on defense here and Era on attack. What's
Yeah.
your stance on attacking and defending on consulate? What do you feel? Because I feel like there's a lot of discussion on what's
Um,
actually defender sided or attacker sided here.
it's a pretty balanced map, I'd say. A good team against a good team, it'll get a pretty average 50-50 split, right? It's just about knowing how to play the map and knowing, because you got to remember, Constant is a very small map. It's very compact. You need to use that verticality to the maximum on this kind of map to get like the most value for all the operators. That's why you'll see, like, especially not just in T3, you'll see like in higher ranks as well, in tier 1, like Pro League, you'll see them bringing the pulse because they know how much value you can bring, even though IQ is still in play and so much counterplay, just the information gain because it's such a small map. And similarly, not similarly, why Thatcher banned yet again, Tyrell molding somewhere, and we lose.
Boring guys.
Boring.
Z's in chat. Why can't I type?
But yeah, just before that, let me just have a look at the games to make sure, because I'm pretty sure Aero and Ruhr have never played Consulate. Looking through this series, Oregon Cafe, Villa, I'm pretty sure they haven't.
While you do that, I'm just gonna go ahead here, and I'm gonna say that in my opinion, consulate, the higher level is played, like when the higher level is when the what am I trying to say? When the player is higher, that's what I'm trying to say. The games are usually, in my personal opinion, from my point of view, are more attacker favored. So the reason is because there's so many windows on consulate, and besides garage, which is also really hard to defend because there's so much verticality and that huge garage wall that is usually breached at the end of the round, and that just basically denies anywhere safe on the site. You can't really play anywhere that's impactful towards a plant. So the attackers usually just run in and they put a plant down unless you really use well your utility, your C4s or gas canisters, which we don't even see EUL teams or T1 teams from any region for that matter use their utility well to that extent most of the time. So garage is really hard to defend if you're not roaming and getting these kills. And when you are roaming, it's a bit rougher for the attackers, definitely, because clearing is not always easy on this map. But there's so many windows that no matter what you're attacking, and especially when you do roam clear, it's just so impactful because you can deny everything on any side here, from when you're attacking lobby, when you're attacking piano, when you're attacking the top floor, you can repel on those CO windows, deny so much. You have the connector window, the bathroom window. You have the yellow skylight. You have the meeting windows. There's almost no point on the site or around the site where you can play safely. The only actual safe point that you can really play without feeling any pressure from nays or windows or anything at all is the long area. The long next to next to the meeting wall, and even that is not that safe because you're right next to the spiral stairs. And if an attacker is gonna sneak up from there, you're gonna die, right? So what teams usually do, they barricade that and they put a player there with a shield. That's a strat we see more often on UL.
Yep, and I think in this kind of map, especially just to finish it off and get into this game, you just have to be a more aggressive team than the other team and outgun them. I think even though if you think about it, this map has the most plant denial opportunities by not being in the same line of sight. I think on every side you can do that. I think it's definitely a very frank plan. Without, yeah. Oops.
Because they're changing smoke.
But yeah, also, can we just talk about the shot? There's a rook being brought, there's Soak 6 picking onto a smoke, and then there's a Vigil who's teabagging the camera. So, a lot of things happen. You know, he spawn peeked as well.
He's just having fun, man. I don't know why you're bashing onto him.
You know, that poor camera, bro.
I don't know if Pinto is trying to kill Risky here. I'm not too sure what's going on there.
Might be a bit of friendly fire going on, you know. Those armor plates maybe testing them to the fullest potential before they get into an actual gunfight. But it does seem like there was actually an armor pack on the ground still. I don't think everyone's taken their armor, but I might be mistaken. I saw a number above the armor plates. I need to confirm this. I think it's okay.
Ooh, Leiko.
Does get that first pick. Oh my god. Almost gets the second there, close to the head. He sees the peaks coming out from Risky, and Risky in a risky position again. This is, I would like to call it death corner on this map, because in this side, no matter what side they are attacking or defending, someone's always usually going to ping in this spot, and it usually always gets cleared with it ending really badly for that defender 90% of the time. But
yeah, it's just a spot that is just so hard to hold onto. It's just really, really rough.
Yep. Smoke grenades start coming out. Now, Heyman, like you said, he's holding a really tight angle here. He sees a few pixels of someone and decides to pre-fire, but Venom does get that breach off, but it gets shot, but Venom just sprayed onto it immediately, and the smoke is stuck in that corner. It looks like the Sophia is going to swing, and suddenly it's a 2v4 on the side, and it's a 2v4, v1, 3v1. Risky. Risky still in that same spot that you're talking about starting the round. He swings here, does get the first pick, but it's on low HP, but gets traded off by Slows. I'm not sure what happened there, how it all went so fast, and seems like Leiko popped off, and then the smoke killed 2 kills, and then he got traded off, and, you know, the round's over, so.
I'll tell you what happened there. Aero got the opening frag there, which helped a lot, and then Thermite tried to open up the meeting wall, since they got admin control, and they had full control of Soda Machine. Try to open up that meeting wall, and as soon as I think it was Heyman, or I don't know who it was. I think it was Malusi, right? It was Malusi. Shot out the thermite charge, white peeking for that. He just swung right back, traded the thermite charge for the Malusi, which is, to say the least, not worth it for the defenders. Not a worth trade. Made it a 5v3, and then all the defenders started peeking left and right. The attackers were holding the angles, and they got the kills.
Yeah, especially like, and you consider that I thought it might have been the Goyo or the Malusi, but regardless, they still have that C4. I'm just confused why you wouldn't use that C4 or those impact grenades you have, especially when you have this smoke covering your entire body, right? And you have like a good indication of where you go because it impacts like radius space. So
I think the answer there is confidence. It's just that Roar is just so confident from the previous map. They really feel like they dominated it pretty hard, which is not necessarily the case, but I can see why they would feel like that. And maybe that's what gives them the confidence to do a little bit of plays that maybe they shouldn't.
Yeah, like you see the spawn peak as well that came out, but maybe that confidence was misplaced because the first round was almost a flawless round. A few picks from the smoke coming out, making it a bit closer, but make no mistake, that round was a guaranteed error round. A minute 30 in, not even that much time elapsed. Most of the defenders weren't really doing much, but it looks like it's going to be an admin side take, which I think is standard for most teams here, but actually it seems to be a split take as I see players all around the map. Fox gonna be playing that C4 under the hatch with probably someone on the Visa cam because it's a free C4 if you have that intel and correction.
Yeah, it definitely looks like a little bit of a more of a split take here, but Venom's here is getting ready to opened up the garage wall, so we're definitely planning on that. That garage wall is standard, and you always want to open it up as soon as possible, as it's gonna deny rotation towards the side. That bathroom hatch being dropped down from the bathroom layer, and it looks like a rush. They're rushing in to the side, and they're gonna get denied by a shield. Matrix is gonna get 2 kills for himself, as Heyman is gonna get another one. Scoreboard just lights up blue as Leiko here is an alone in a 1v5 scenario, and it's just unwinnable for him. Risky is gonna get that last kill of the round, and it's gonna be a flawless for Vor.
Jackal coming out in chat, but I mean, we talked about an almost flawless round for Aero team. What talk about an actual flawless round for Ruhr Esports? And why is that such a tongue twister for me to say? I don't understand. But regardless, it seems like it was an expected push for some reason. Maybe they had intel, maybe they heard the sounds, maybe they realized they're not really pushing anywhere else. Probably a take, or maybe they just were all holding the angle at the same time. It's Siege. There's a million different reasons why a million different things could happen. But it seems to be another lobby, not another lobby, the first time they go to lobby, and they're sticking that rook, which seems to be a weird staple pick for Ruhrsports on this map. Which, I'll be honest, it's very uncommon from what I see in competitive play, but you know, maybe it's a hidden technique. You know, maybe it's the new meta playing the rook and they clash together. But we'll see.
The one thing that I will say about Consulate, it has a lot of very long
Long
engagements
yep.
because you're peeking so much from inside the building towards outside towards the spawn, let's say, or let's say from garage towards outside the garage breach, right? So Rook definitely gives you that advantage, and when you have, I mean, it's not like it used to be when you had a Rook player like or a Doc player. It used to be a Doc player with that fat ACOG that is 2.5, or it used to be actually a 3x. Actually, everyone thought it was a 2.5, but it was a 3x with a 3x sight, with a 3x scope, just staring at everything and just clicking heads because that gun was like a beam without ACOG. But that's not longer the case. Now he has a 2.0 scope, which is not bad. I mean,
Better than most
definitely
defenders, right?
definitely gives you some kind of advantage, and you're getting those plates, which is not a bad gadget. I mean, some would disagree, but I would say it's not a bad gadget if you don't
If you don't get value.
if you don't need anything else, it's alright, right? And as long as Fox here is gonna show his value on this gun, on this MP5 with a 2.0, I don't see a reason why not bring the Rook, right? And then at the end of the day, this is an FPS, and if he's able to get enough kills with this Rook, then it's definitely gonna be worth it. So we're gonna wait and see.
Oh, drops from the hatch though. A little bit too close to the hatch, but I mean, there's going to be definitely a counter argument for maybe bringing the Doc to heal up that Clash if she goes for more aggressive plays. Especially since that Clash has not placed on the Barbara, so it seems we can look at the the score there. She doesn't seem to have placed any Barbara there, but maybe again it's a late Barbara strat. You know, we can never know with these teams. They might have change stats, but they can change stats.
Oh!
Woo! I mean, you're talking about those long angles, and that was a pretty long angle, and Rook had the 2x scope, but Leiko seemingly to be just better at hitting that shot there. Even though he has been lit up quite bad.
He flicked that as well, man. He was aiming at the wrong thing.
True.
I don't know if you noticed, but he was aiming at the right corner and he flicked to the left, so that was a beautiful shot from him. Great reason to run the Ash for that man.
An opening pick does go towards Aero Revolution, but if you look at the combined HP, actually, it's still in favor of Ruhr Esports. Like, Leiko and Kafu combined to make around 75% of a person, but especially looking at these vertical folds above, it seems like there's going to be an engagement soon enough. It seems like actually Ruhr Esports were not holding upstairs at all. They just seem to have reinforced the hatch off, which it's interesting to say at the least, considering they're not even playing a pulse below to get any intel on the plan. I think they're relying on the Clash and Maestro solely, which I think is very dangerous. But you can see Leiko just crouching down these stairs here. I don't think he's even been heard or spotted out. The Neger seems to be not heard, but elsewhere.
Clash has got a kill, man.
Yeah, Clash just gets a pill. He puts a shield on the back. Who even needs a shield? It's a Clash, you know. Just put the shield on the back, gets a gun out, and does get that pick onto Capital. And those 2 nades are gone. I'm not sure if he had used them all, but I think that was a vertical angle as well. Venoms goes for a drop and tries to maybe potentially go for a plant, but he doesn't. He needs to realize that Maestro count. He does get the first Maestro count. It's a 2v4 as well. This takes elsewhere on the round. Maestro refrags onto 1, and suddenly it is a 3v2 with the Clash on the shield. The Clash peeks for 1, gets the first on the shield. The Panther has to get off. The Clash does get down. It's now a 1v2. Risky on that Maestro LMG. He's going to pre-fire to the Spiral Barrier, giving away his position. Venom's going to start planting, but slows him up. Perfectly executed. Good cover. And right there was a good round.
Great execute there, honestly. Really good execute. And Aero just shows right now why I said that the higher level, the higher the level is, the more attacker sided this map becomes, because there's just so many angles that you can hold towards the side and so many ways to really suppress and really deny all the strong positions on the side.
Yeah,
So if you want to push in and you have your attackers holding the right angles and you're breaching the right walls, in this case you don't even need to breach anything because it's a lobby attack, but you have the hatch open, you have the vertical play that you need, and your players are aiming at the right thing. It's just, ah man, it's just so hard to defend at
that's a
that
nice,
point
that's a
because
nice execute, right? A minute
because
30.
because because you need to win so many crazy gunfights as a defender when that happens.
I mean, I think defenders should realize as well that Ruhrsports, the setup really wasn't that spectacular. Not having anyone upstairs to slow. They had Fox, I think, upstairs on yellow stairs, but I wouldn't really consider that even trying to hold upstairs at all. And that hatch got open, and they went outside. They had visa control. They had that long angle cross. They're like, guys, it's clear. We can just go for the plant. We can walk in, shoot the maestro cam, attempt to plant, get the refract tracer, you're going to be in a stronger position, and that's exactly what happened, right? They traded and eventually attackers won.
You're definitely right, but that's a trade. That's a trade-off when you're going to lobby, right? Because in lobby, you need to watch out for that piano take, which is that's a really prominent one in Europe, and it's a really hard one to defend against if you're not holding garage. And if you want to hold garage, you can't really hold the top floor. And if you want to do both, then you don't have anyone on the side. So you just kind of,
Conundrum.
it's okay. Pinto is gonna try to get a spawn pick here, and he's gonna really lit up Slows. And Slow is gonna hide prone here below the half full. And I mean, Pinto knows that he just made enough damage. He's gonna run away with his life here. He's gonna get lit up though by the sledge, and I mean, it's basically equalized at this point. Spawn
Yeah.
peak panned out to nothing as Pinto is on really low HP and Slows is on very low HP as well. So great job from Aero here, kind of answering back, almost getting that kill onto Pinto here. Not really even missed shot, just the wall bang through the wall, and could have been a lucky headshot, but it wasn't.
Yep, and it looks like that was a calculated play as well, because I think Pinto was trying to deny a few more seconds on that admin take, fire a few shots, make the attackers want to drone it a bit more, waste like another 10 seconds maybe. In the grand scheme of things, maybe not that much, but it's enough. It's something that you can do, and you don't have any utility spent on you, and you can definitely help the team out like that. But elsewhere upstairs, it doesn't seem like. Sorry, go on.
It's okay, man. You can go on.
I mean, I spoke about, but okay.
Yeah. The attackers are definitely going for an admin take here, as I mean they're attacking lobby again, which is definitely a curious one, but they are going to go for this lobby defense, and the attackers are gonna go for the same exact attack from admin side. Now they know that there's the player in CEO that they need to worry about. He's gonna back off though. He's gonna drop down. Pito is gonna get a kill for his team though, and Echo is gonna trade back here. So the attackers, Aero is gonna consistently put themselves in the advantage here, as Tenjin is gonna get another kill on the lurking Rook there onto Fox. So a 4v2 right now for Aero, as they're really establishing this map control and getting ready for X.
I mean, there's still a minute left, and if you look at the drones on the board, they still have at least 4 drones, I think. At least 4 drones. I'm not sure if Enims has any, because I'm not. You can see that, no, but it seems there are 6 drones total if you look in the top right. And, they have the time. They can slow down. They can drone this out. They don't need to take this extremely fast. They have this time, and I think that's exactly what they're going to try to do. The Iana tries to drone out, and if they figure out the position of where this. Not Melusi, my operator brain just died, but this Aruni was playing in that small position. Suddenly that becomes a much easier sight, but I think they're going to go for the execute here. Kafu's going to bait the plant maybe at the start, and because of that, the Aruni does get the first free pick. Leiko does get picked up as well, and suddenly Slow in the 2v1 is a 1v1, 15 seconds left. He's against Risky, who's on full HP and on the opposite side of the map. The default cam is not shot. They have all the info in the world. Slow is going to need to
Oh my god.
win this. He doesn't know where he is.
Oh my god.
I mean, what a play. What a 2v4 play coming out from Ruhrsports. And that's, I think, a good
And
example
this
of
is
why.
not Ruhrsports, this is the old G2. What the fuck is that?
I know. I mean, the coordination, and I think that's a good example of why you need to be joining yourself when you have the time, because those rat positions that people are playing, maybe you expect them, maybe not. Just giving the info makes them want to rotate away, push them into side closer, makes it easier to execute. Because that Aruni, if she gets droned out, she runs back to site. Maybe she goes with a peek, maybe she goes downstairs, and suddenly there's only one on site, or there's 2 tucked away in piano, and it's a much easier sight control, right? It's much easier sight execute. But the Cav coming out, get switched out into the Aruni. Wasn't really sure if that was actually going to be played, so
Just
I
a
didn't talk
tease,
about it.
man.
But
Just a tease.
they just love teasing us today, don't they?
Yeah, they're teasing us and they're teasing each other as well, man. I mean, you know that Cav is not gonna be in play. Come on.
Especially on a map like Console, I think this is probably the worst Cav map you could probably play from the Pro League pool. Apart from
Oh my god.
Attackers have located a bomb.
I think I have, as you say that, I feel like I have flashbacks of me playing against Cav players in Consulate, and my flashbacks are not so happy. Anyway, moving on.
It seems to be another basement, last basement defense. The last time they went basement, we didn't really get to see how their site setup really played out because Aero decided to rush into site, and that failed miserably because I think the round was over before it even started. So let's actually see how they decide to attack the site for once and see if Ruhrsports can actually defend this site. Because we didn't actually.
Yeah.
Yep.
We have a little bit of a back and forth here in terms of the rounds, right? So Aero is winning the first round, Vor is answering right back, then Aero is answering right back, winning the third round, and then Vor is winning it again. So really, it looks like it's neck and neck here. They're really close to each other, and it's just gonna be a question of who's gonna adapt right now, or really a question of if Aero is gonna adapt right now, as they already attacked the site, and they need to know at this point what they need to do a bit differently. They know how these defenders are positioned a little bit more, because they know how many they met when they pushed onto the side. So I think besides Heyman, who's going for a flank right now, there is no one roaming. And that gives you free map control, and you need to abuse that. Matrix is gonna get that vertical kill though from the garage onto the piano window. I mean, talking about sneaky angles and something that should be drawn out and should be checked but wasn't. But regardless of that, Leiko is gonna go down, he's gonna die now, and he's gonna put his team in a disadvantage as your Ash player, your primary fragger, is dead. And Heyman is on this flank right now and looks like no one knows.
I mean, at least it wasn't the sledge that got picked. I think that would have been tremendously worse considering the site they're playing. And I don't think they realize there's one playing upstairs. Tension not really peeking upstairs. And if he wide swings this a bit too much, he will get caught up by the Jaeger. And the Jaeger does seem to be going for that crouch rock down. But I think this drone will come out and give away his position. No, the drone actually goes downstairs. Jaeger's position is actually still undroned. He's going to set up his flank cam and maybe push somewhere else. So that is at least a sigh of relief for the fans of Aero there, maybe wondering maybe another flank kill coming out, as it seems that Tenjin is going to rotate away, just leaving the flank kill there, and it seems to be just a side hold now for now. One Pinto getting picked off by Cafu upstairs as Cafu's first kill, and kill that their team needed. The breach is open, a minute left, they have a bit of time, they need to
Oh man, they don't know about Heyman, this is huge.
Oh yeah, he's going to peek this, and he's going to get that first free kill, or he should, and he does. Slow us behind the car does not get the kill. I was trying on my words again, but Tenjin has to be pushing upstairs as Fox gets another C4, and suddenly it's a 2v4, and this is looking like a bigger and bigger mountain for Aero to manage to climb, as they seem to be just ignoring the guy upstairs and kind of trying to go for his execute. Fox wide swings Venom. The Venom's so unlucky on the timing. He's trying to get up and he's not ADS, and Tenjin does pick up for the Heyman, but leaves it in a 1v3 with 30 seconds left. I don't think that's going to be much of a fight for Ruhrsports as they do pick up that kill.
Man, that round was huge from the Jaeger there, and I just didn't want to cut you off in the middle, but I saw from the way they positioned the flank drone, they just had no idea that someone is above, because they positioned the flank drone for the Visa stairs basement for below, and the drone wasn't positioned for the flank from above at all. Although it could have been, and they just didn't position it the way it should have been. So that to me just said that they don't know that there's a Jaeger here upstairs, and because you don't know there's a Jaeger upstairs, you can just create so much damage. Because when you're gonna go for execute, that Jaeger is on your tail, and as soon as you realize that the Jaeger is on your tail because he gets a kill, you'll need to go and hunt him down, but you don't have time anymore, and that's exactly what happened. Of course, the kill from Fox there with the C4 was fortunate. But that's not a reliable thing. What was reliable and what really won the round was I don't know if it was Pinto. Was it Pinto last time around this round with the Jaeger? I don't know if it was.
I think Pinto was on the Maestro. I think it was.
Yeah, I think so. Anyway, maybe it was risky. Anyway, whoever played Jaeger just did a great job there and really won the round from my point of view here. And
And someone's already throwing in this round as a Goyo Shield gets popped in the prep phase. Bit of trolling. Maybe it's going to use
they just don't need it, man. They're just better.
using it to make rotates.
Okay.
You know, why not being someone with impacts? I'm not sure. They sort of use the Goyo Shield some way and then get a Nitro. I guess they have the C4. Yes, yeah. You know, maybe.
I guess bring the C4 and use the Goyo Shields for. I mean, it's still questionable, man. I don't know about that one.
It's what's the vector.
If you're if the coach is watching this stream right now, it's really questionable. Maybe you should talk to me. I'll advise your team a little bit for free.
Yeah.
I'll do it for free, man. I just don't want to see rotate holes being opened up by Goyo Shields.
I think
That's
that
all
is
I'm
great.
asking for. I don't think that's a big ask.
I think that's pretty common. I don't think you can see that even in the lowest of ELOs that people rotating.
Yikes, man. There we go. There we go, folks. You heard it here first. Oh, and Pinto with a great headshot through the wall is gonna shut me up. They don't need these Goyo Shields when you have gunners like this.
I mean, Pinto got picked off first on his team last round on the Maestro, and decided he's had enough. He's gonna play that Jaeger. He's gonna play aggressive, and aggressive he just played because he gets that wall bang, nice shot onto Capu. He was probably just trying to repel into Printer once the drone that was clear, and suddenly, like last round, this is again a disadvantage for Aero. You know, at the start when a minute is gone, there's one player down, no refract potential. The players rotated downstairs. You're gonna have to play this entire round with someone gone, and I think that's really hard, especially in a map like Consulate where there's such long corridors and there's such easy places to refrag. But you can see that Heyman misses a few of his shots, and that gives a bit of breathing room to Lego, who if he died there would have been much worse for Aero. And you can see the vertical holes are being opened up. Obviously, no one's going to be playing inside of that site, and they're all going to be playing downstairs because, of course, there is Pulse and there is C4, and that's how you play this site.
Yeah, I mean, Bulls is really standard on the side. Looks like Pinto's gonna try to sneak up, and he's gonna get actually enough body shots to take down Leiko. Leiko is gonna go down. Risky is gonna get a C4 onto Tangineer, and then defenders are just flooding up the kill feed here, blue, as it's a 5v2 scenario right now, and Venoms and Slows, they're gonna try and look for these kills. They're gonna get one. Haven here is gonna get down, and Pinto is gonna go down as well. Venoms is doing great job here, waking up, really giving me Villa flashbacks here, as he's maybe gonna get a 3k and then disappoint me with putting the plan down and getting C4 towards the end.
I mean, Risky making such a good play here. I remember seeing this in another, I think, Pro League day. I'm not sure if it was NA or EU, but the one person late flanking, they're getting the essential picks. And you gotta remember, there's still two C4s below. They can't plant. They cannot plant. There's two C4s. Like, the Pulse is gonna call
Yeah, they have perfect information.
And also,
I mean, smokes went out here. I'm not too sure what the purpose is. I guess just to cover up the angle so they don't need to peek a little bit more than that. C4 is gonna go out. It's gonna take down Venoms. That's expected. And Slows is in a 1v3 right now. He's gonna try and get the Fuser to no avail. I mean, there's no reason for you to even run for the Fuser there because you're not planting the bomb, buddy. And, I mean,
it is what it is, you know.
a little bit of a BM there. I
Yeah.
mean, I feel like that's deserved.
I mean, Ruhrsports, I think, played that round perfectly. I mean, maybe not throwing the first two kills, but one stayed in a 3v2. The two people with C4 stayed downstairs. They told them, Melusi, you don't have a C4. You can get out of our side. Go flanking for above. Do your thing. We don't need you here anymore. And that's what she did. She went upstairs. And even if the first C4 failed and the second C4 failed, they still wouldn't have gotten that plan off because then Melusi was upstairs and she would have denied the plan. Just the layers there.
There was no way to win that.
Nope.
There was honestly no way. Like, a miracle needs to happen. Even a miracle is not enough because these defenders just need to throw themselves at you at that point in order for you to win. And they're definitely not gonna do that because they have two C4s below and a player above you trying to deny you. So that's just one of these rounds that you should have played a little bit better early on in the round to not get into that scenario, because once you're in that scenario, it's just extremely rough and extremely hard to win. But enough about that. Vor is gonna swap from defense to attack here, and they dominated on defense here, and I feel like they're gonna do the same on attack here. I don't know if you agree with me. I mean, it's definitely anyone's game and anything can change. Sorry, again?
I'm looking at the operators right now, and you know, it's just very off meta. Let's just leave it at that.
What, are you talking about the Blackbeard?
No, just in general, you know, this particular lineup. I'm not gonna say any operator is less important or less better than the other ones. This particular lineup probably doesn't see much play.
Wait, I'm actually confused at this one. You need to tell me, man, what you're talking
No,
about.
I'm
It's
just saying
only-
Blackbeard. It's a Blackbeard. It's a Blackbeard. Okay.
Yeah, it's just the Blackbeard who stands out here. But I mean, listen, there's so many windows. He's just look.
You know.
We'll see. I feel like he's really oppressive on this map when you use him correctly. When you just use him how he's supposed to be used. To cut what Heyman is actually trying to do right now. If they actually manage to get rid of that castle break hit as well, he's gonna actually play to the max of his operator's ability. And that's just playing on that window, on those windows, and just really denying a lot of creating a lot of pressure on the site and just really oppressing the defenders. And it looks like they're gonna split up here. The attackers. Roar is gonna split up here. They're gonna defend everything. They're gonna put a Blackbeard on the CO window. They're gonna put some attackers towards admin. They're gonna have some more attackers that connect on a connector window. So that's the type of attack that I really like to see, because it really forces the defenders. It really puts everything in kind of. Oh, there we go. That's a Blackbeard. That's a castle break hit being opened up, and Heyman is gonna use his operator to the best of his ability. There, I mean, that's the purpose of the operator. He's gonna get the kill onto Venoms. A very impactful player who's not gonna be able to do any impact this time around, as Leiko is gonna try and roam around in piano, maybe get a kill here, but it doesn't look like anything is gonna pan out of that.
I mean, I don't know if you noticed that, but there was a snake outside of main lobby who snaked at the perfect time just to avoid getting spotted out by Leiko. But Leiko does get pick onto Pinto, I think, before getting killed out by Matrix. And suddenly it's back to the advantage of Ruhrsports. And this Ash on this repel on bathroom window, this Blackbeard on the C repel, and I think someone did repel into bathroom? No, that's his teammate. Okay, never mind, I'm getting the colors mixed up. It's okay. Risky is actually on this commie wall. Somehow just crosses it without being challenged completely, and Kafu missing it by an inch, and now that wall's gonna be open.
Question mark?
Question mark? I don't know what happened there, but it's looking worse and worse for the team of Aero. They need to get this first defensive round. It's not unwinnable. Kafu needs to land a few shots. There's 2 by Printer, there's 1 on CEO repel, and then you know there's 1 on connector window. You have all the information you need. Now the question is, how are you gonna take this information and try to win the round? But Matrix and has a nice shot onto Kafu, and you can't do much impact if you're dead. And that Blackbeard connecting or rotating, I mean, cutting off the connection. Oh my god, I cannot even speak. He's just completely destroyed this team's rotate plans, and suddenly this Blackbeard has become the bane of Aero in that round, cutting off the entire rotates from side to side. I started on my words so much there because my brain was trying to process what was happening. But eventually,
that's karma, man, because you were shit talking the Blackbeard, and now you get what you deserved.
It's a strong term. I would just say he was
Man,
off better,
that Blackbeard is underrated on CEO windows. I'm telling you, it's just so strong. If you know you're going for CEO, and you know you have enough utility to get rid of everything else, there's no reason to not bring the Blackbeard, because he's gonna bring the flashes. Oh no, hey man, you're gonna do it to us. You're gonna do it to them?
He's teasing us, always. They always tease us. There's no way he sticks this. Okay. See? Blackbeard.
I mean, they're expecting that Aero here is gonna go back to top floor. I'm not too sure why they're expecting that. Because if you're actually attacking Garage, then the Blackbeard is a little bit stuck. You can't really do too much with him. Besides, just really rushing towards the side or just holding a really long angle from the Garage.
There is a pretty nasty upside down repel angle you can get from the...
Yeah, that's true, but you don't even need the Blackbeard for that. It's not like you need the Blackbeard for that. On the windows, that's where... On the Blackbeard, on the window... on the windows, that's where he's getting his advantage on. And on that upside down repel, you can actually see part of the body of the...
Actually, I'm taking it back because I haven't seen Blackbeard play for so long that I completely forgot how it works. And upside down repelling at Blackbeard is a big no-no. You should never do that, because when you upside down repel, your tip of your head actually peeks out, or your shield. So you actually get no body from a shield potentially. So that's, if you're a Blackbeard, you're not.
And that's not only that though. It's also that on that specific repel that you were talking about, on Garage repel outside, the upside down one, they can see a lot of your body. They can see actually your legs. So you need to make sure that you're getting that kill fast, right? I mean, the angle is favorable for you, but they can see your legs. So you need to get the kill fast, and Blackbeard usually doesn't have the best gun to get a kill really fast. That's not where he shines. So again, when you're expecting you're going towards CO, and you know that you have enough utility to deal with everything else, which usually you do, because I mean there's not that much to deal with on Consulate. Not that much that needs to be dealt with 100% all the time. It's not like in Oregon, for example. So you're allowed to bring that Blackbeard, and he's gonna do a little bit of a cover job for you in the beginning of the round. Maybe he's gonna hold your flank, and then you're gonna put him on a window, and he's gonna do some nasty stuff there because he can really create so much pressure.
I mean, honestly, I think Aero right now aren't playing aggressive enough. They need to be. They're in this bottom pit, I would say, where they're so close to losing this entire game series completely. Not the game, just the series, right? They're gonna lose this entirely. They need to start getting aggressive on these angles. They need to start taking the fight to Ruth, because I remember in the last round, especially, there were a few times that the defender was too scared to peek, trying to play too passive, and that doesn't really work out when you're trying to get that early pick. You need to send a message because you have to win a lot of rounds. This 3-round gap is massive, especially considering the operators. This Claymore out as well prevents the Rooney from completely running out, and of course there's someone going to be watching those flank stairs and also that garage run out, because it is a comp. You'll usually have some kind of coordination. Hopefully, it's comp. You hope there's some coordination, and yeah, there's going to be someone covering you on the rappel, and the guy on the rappel can just worry about the rappel, and the guy below just watches the flank. But that does leave only 3 attacking operators elsewhere on the map. And it does seem those 3 attacking operators are going for this printer room take. I only see 2 right now. I'm not sure where the third one is. But it seems to be a much slower take coming up from Ruhrsports, not getting that map control as easily as it did last round. That mute jammer giving insane value, not opening up that reinforcement, means that this smoke can clear for a long time.
Fox is gonna get the first kill here on the round. He's gonna get the opening onto Slows here with their headshot. Make sure he's gonna follow up onto Leiko here. So a 5v3. Risky is gonna get another kill here, and again the kill feed lights up blue as the attackers are really putting themselves in the advantage here. Venex is gonna go down by Pinto here as he's gonna get another kill for his team, and it's all up to tension in this 1v5 scenario. I feel like we've seen this so many times, and every time it ends in a flawless round. I mean, I think it was a team ace. I think it was a flawless team ace there, if I'm not mistaken.
Everyone doing their part, and you win the round like that. And honestly, I mean, Ruhrsports, they're not playing the most conventional lineup, but they're proving it to us that they can play the lineup they're playing right now ruthlessly and getting those rounds
Man, there's nothing weird about the lineup besides the Blackbeard. Come on.
It's an unconventional.
Come on, man. Just leave the lineup alone. Like, there's really nothing weird besides the Blackbeard.
It's an unconventional lineup. Like, if you have a Blackbeard in a lineup, usually it's an unconventional lineup. That's all I'm saying.
This is Consulate. It's fine.
I'm not saying it's fine or wrong. I'm just saying it's not something you usually see. All right.
That's true. You usually don't see it, but it is. It's not questionable,
out, right? It's not questionable.
No. It's not even that it's working out. It's like it's not a questionable thing to do because Blackbeard, like, if you're gonna bring him anywhere, just bring him on Consulate.
Yeah,
because
I agree with you.
And some players are just like the operator, you know what I mean? And I'm not even a Blackbeard player. Like, I never played Blackbeard, almost ever. So, but I just feel for him right now. You're really bashing my man right now.
I mean, I haven't said anything bad about him. I've just said he's a very unconventional operator, not really picked that much, not really in the meta, so to say. So it's nice to see that, some other off-meta operators are being picked and you're getting some good value.
There we go, man. It's nice to see. There we go. That's what I like. Anyway, we're gonna be on match point here for Roar. So Aero, I hope you're feeling the pressure because there is pressure to be felt here. You're losing this round, you're out of this, you're getting your first loss and no victories. So you're gonna have 2 draws and 1 loss. That's not gonna look too good in the standings.
I wouldn't say so. And I mean, 3 games with 2 points, that isn't really the best tally, but the game isn't over yet. There's still 4 more rounds to play. I mean, these 4 rounds, if Aero to switch it on, they realize on match point, that survival instinct comes in and they start winning and winning and winning. All it takes is 1 round. If you remember on Villa, Venoms had that 1 good round where he didn't clutch, but he brought his team back from the brink, and suddenly his team was so motivated, and 4Ks, and like that, just like I said, Venom, speaking of Venoms, he gets the first C4 onto the buck as expected C4. I'm not sure if he was predicted from the play patterns from last round or if it was just a good cam or a good guess, but that's definitely an important pick you need from this round. The Jackal does get the Jackal ping as well downstairs, but I'm not sure they're aware of the Jaeger ping upstairs. The drones are coming out though, so he should be droned out pretty soon enough. The wall bangs do come out. I think he is located, and I think it'll be smart for him to decide that maybe it's time to call a day and rotate back. But the Jackal is downstairs. He needs to be careful here, and He needs to not die and give away that opening pick. He's wasting a lot of time just by staying upstairs doing nothing, and that's all you need to do sometimes. And he's doing that so well. Like, you can see how many operators are focusing. I think it was 3 people trying to cut off his rotation and then 1 person joining. And Slows,
Ooh, slows.
Undrone in main lobby gets that first pick, and that's gonna be a stinger. Now 3v5. They know there's one upstairs. He sees him and misses a few shots. Leko survives him. Fridge up and still doesn't look at it for some reason, but Venom's just getting killed elsewhere as he cracks onto him. And his Blackbeard's shield saving his life.
Saved by his shield. Hey man!
The shield, the value coming in clutch, but it does seem like Slows has the angle on lock. And I don't think they're sure where the last defender is, but that barbarian knifing is going to give away his position, and now all the defenders should be rotating into good positions here. And yeah, the impact of coming from above should distract the Jackal as long as he doesn't drop, which I don't think he could, which he doesn't, thank God. And now the Jackal is going to be forced to make a play. Either he's going to go down this long corridor, or he's going to go upstairs. Either way is probably not a good idea, and Venom's, he swings, he gets the kill, and this is exactly the kind of round that Aero need to be put back on top.
Man, this is just the same as Villa at this point. I mean, they were like 5-2 down, then they got a round, and then it was another round, then it was match point, and I mean, come on, Aero, it's just too late. Too late. Now they're playing aggressively when it's match point. They're getting these early picks. They're roaming around. I mean, it's good what they're doing. They're playing well, but they should have done this earlier.
I mean, and then going back upstairs as well, you got to keep that in mind. They've been abysmal, I would say, upstairs, not being able to counter the strategy that Ruhrsports have put up, right? The unbeatable Blackbeard on window wouldn't push into printer strategy. It's
yeah, that's true, man. They're going back to conflict, and Heyman is here to terrorize them. I'm not even ready for that one. I think you're gonna cast Heyman this time around. I'm not ready for that.
I mean, if you look at it as a defender's point of view, how do you counter the Blackbeard? You can't run out the doors, you can't run out the windows, because usually there's Claymore plus someone always watching it. You can't run out piano window.
That's the thing, you don't counter a Blackbeard on a window. You just don't, man. You just give it to him. You just leave the game. You move on to the next round. But they can't because it's a match point, they're gonna lose otherwise.
The only thing that I can think of right now from the spur of my head is trying to get vertical angles onto the window, but how much help is that even going to be? I have a good Blackbeard, which I'm assuming he is. He's not going to upstand himself. You're not going to get those angles, and that means you're just going to waste impact, and you're going to waste probably maybe an operator if you get turned out. But it's going to be interesting to see what they do. Maybe they go for the aggressive taunting play, actually, and maybe that's the counter you're looking for. As it looks like Leko is going into the base, while Slows is going to be in lobby, trying to get this weird mix of taunting. He does get it.
Oh, Slows!
Ace! An pivotal operator, the hard breach, and if he knows who he killed, which most likely he doesn't, but if he knows that they can no longer open printers, which means that they have to completely switch up the type of attack they're doing, and that kill is the most impact fight they need. Not to mention diffuser was dropped all the way there. Buck's gonna have to rotate. That's time wasted as well. Such a good kill from Slows there. I mean, nice taunting as well, and that Blackbeard getting countered. You said there was no counter to him. Here he is getting countered by getting shot in his shield. And I think this is probably the best counter to Blackbeard, where you swing aggressively and you pre-fire the shield, and you hope you do, because his gun isn't really that good DPS wise, and if he doesn't get the first headshot, you have a better chance of winning. D4 comes out and does nothing. I'm not really sure. Well, regardless, the Blackbeard does get that kill, taking no damage from that D4. I'm not sure if that's...
You're not peeking an upside down player, man. You're not peeking an upside down player in a window. Come on. Well, you win that, what, like 1 out of 100 times?
Not sure.
True. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. He doesn't have a shield anymore. You're just not picking an upside down player in general. Matrix is gonna get another kill, and all of a sudden it's a 4v3 for the attackers now. From such a promising round for Aero, it suddenly doesn't look like much anymore, as Tingen is gonna also get a frag here, but still a 3v3 here. So Vor managed to equalize a little bit. And honestly, they don't even need that hard reach right now, as far as I'm concerned. They just need that map control and to go for these kills. They're attacking top, so they're not attacking Garage here. It's not that relevant if they have the hard reach or not. Fox is going to go down, though. His Tension is going to get a double here for the round. He's going to get his second kill on the round, and he's going to be put down to 1 HP. So any shot from any distance is going to put him down. So it's still doable for Vor. Tension, though, he's gonna get a triple, though. A beautiful headshot onto Heyman, who's gonna go down there on the CO window. So it's all up to Matrix here. He's gonna slowly peek around the windows here. He's gonna maybe try to throw his flashes in as smoke canisters are going out. Tension is not 100% sure of his position, it looks like. So maybe these defenders are not sure of his position, but Matrix will make his position known. He has 30 seconds to work with here, and he needs these defenders to peek him. Smoke canisters are gonna go out towards him, and he cannot even jump in through that. It looks like a very dire situation for him, as 3 of these defenders are just holding this one window. They know that he needs to jump in, and they know that this is the only way for him to win out. He's gonna spray towards the connector window, but to no avail. Nothing is gonna pan out of that, and I mean, this is just desperate at this point. He knows he's not winning this out. He's just trying to pet the stats at this point. Maybe get a kill towards the end of the round here when the clock is running out, and he won't be able to do that even. As Tension is gonna get a quad kill for the round. He's gonna put a lot of kills for his team here.
Are you getting Villa flashbacks already?
Oh, it's that 4K, man. It's the 4K.
Venom's popped
And
off
it's
in
a
a
little bit
round.
different. It's a little bit different though. It's a
I mean,
little bit
they're on
different
match
because
point,
it's
right?
6-4. Yeah, they're in match point. Yes,
They
but
look so comfortable,
Vor
right?
Vor is up 6-4 and not up 6-3 as they were last time. So maybe Era actually has a chance here. I'm definitely rooting for them a little bit just so we have a little bit of a closer game here. So, but I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know. At this point, it just seems a little bit inconsistent. Really relies on slow, getting really aggressive peaks
Yep.
early on. Not even the hard, but just the aggressive kills early on that he got last time around and the round before that. He was just making a lot of impacts, and it really looks like Slow's really woke up. He's really putting frags on a board here. He's really doing a lot of work for his team. And I don't know if they can keep it up consistently, just because surely this round or the next, Vor is just gonna adapt and not gonna be as aggressive on the opening kills, on the opening deaths for that matter. So something is gonna change here, and when it does, when Vor changes something, Aero will need to change on the fly as well. And again, Vor is allowed to make mistakes here and to find their groove, to see how they need to change the flow of the game, how they need to change the tempo in order to win this. Aero doesn't have room for mistakes.
I mean, as well, you gotta keep in mind that even if they lose this round, they do have a good idea of which 2 sides they can go. They're either gonna go into basement or they're gonna go into tellers, right? Those are only 2 available sites if they win this round. That is a big if. And we haven't seen them defend tellers, not tellers, lobby before, so this could be a flawless round for Ruhrsports, and we won't know. So we're just gonna have to wait and watch this, but it looks like the aggressive peaks are coming out again. Leiko trying to get a pre-fire, and this is a nice zero cameo. Getting a lot of information here onto admin. Doesn't even need to throw a drone in. Information that, oh my god.
Man.
Asian is living life on the edge, let's just say. Surviving a catastrophic event, almost. And leaves poor
Bro,
Leiko
imagine you getting
upstairs.
shot like that IRL, man.
Oh my god. But like I said, that leaves poor Leiko upstairs all alone. I don't think anyone else is upstairs to support him. I think all of them... Yeah, no one's upstairs to support him at this point. That means that Leiko's gonna have to do big plays to keep in the round. But you've seen him do big plays in the past before. I wouldn't put it past him to get that first 2-second kills before getting pitted off and wasting a bunch of time. And I think that's exactly what's happening now. They know he's on yellow stairs, but they can't seem to be flushing him in now. And the C4 comes out from KFO, but Leiko does get traded off, which means that it's back to a 4v4. And you gotta remember, Tenjin is still on that slow sliver of HP. And Kafu, no C4 anymore, he's still pulse. So keep that in mind. The Visual goes for the shot through the bars and manages to hit it. He needs to be careful of the rotates coming out. And the rotates do come out and he does get down. And that's another trade. And now it's a 3v3. And Tenjin again on that small sliver HP just hiding inside like his teammates are dying. He's like, guys, what's happening? But he seems to have rotated down the stairs. Maybe he's trying to get a flank kill, maybe, or potentially catch someone off. But it does seem that both players are upstairs, and Tenjin picks up first, I think, exactly how I described it, and Kafu almost picks up one as well, as Matrix is on 20-ish HP or so, and he can just use his pulse scanner here to get a lot of intel, and they know Heyman, and I think that's exactly what happened there, and Heyman's outside the main door, and he can't do much here, and suddenly, it's a 1v3 again, in the very similar circumstance that we had last round, but does he manage to get that first pick here? No, and Teijin with a double kill, Kafu and Teijin played so well, especially the slows, hitting that nice shot through the bars, definitely contributed, even if he got traded off straight after.
Dude,
Like,
the UMPs.
the UMPs, they're popping off.
The umps. The
No,
umps are doing work.
Tenjin on 1 HP, and the worst gun in the game, he still gets those kills. You know,
Uh,
can't put it past a player like him. But it's 6-5, and now you must be getting nervous
I
with
would
your
say he's
first
old as
goal,
shit, but there is probably underaged.
right? But like we said, Ruhrsports 6-5. They surely must be feeling it now. A bit of nervousness. You know, they were up 6-3, and now it's 6-5. You know, there is
Yeah,
that little bit of.
definitely.
It's a bit of now. They gotta.
That's their final chance here, unless they want to go to overtime. This is the time. This is the round to try things because
Yep.
you have this overtime guaranteed. Uh, you can go back to your standard playstyle or whatever you're comfortable with later on in order to win this one out. This time, it's time to throw off the enemy team off guard here. Do something maybe a little bit crazy, maybe in terms of operator picks or in terms of how you're going to play, no matter what. But you need to try and secure this round, right? You
Yep.
don't have the pressure on you as much as Aero have the pressure on them, just
Uh,
because they have to secure that round, this round, to go into
Attackers need to
overtime,
locate and defuse
and
the bomb.
Roar, they just need to secure the round in order to win. They're gonna go into overtime anyway. So what needs to happen here? They're gonna be
Cover the
attacking
location
Garage
of a
here.
bomb.
They need to do something a little bit unexpected, something that's gonna throw Arrow a little bit off their
open the
guard,
garage wall completely.
because they look very comfortable right now with winning these gunfights, especially Tengen and Slows right now, really waking up. And if Venoms or Leiko or Kafu for that matter, which these are players, or all three of these, we've seen that they can do a lot of work when
10
they're in the
seconds
right
left
opportunity,
before
when they're
insertion.
feeling in their zone and they're in the right time at the
5
right
seconds
place at the
remaining.
right time. They can do a lot. So you don't want to give them that opportunity. You don't want to make sure that you want to make sure they're
Defuse the
not
bomb.
comfortable, and you just want to throw them off their guard. So let's see if Roar is going to be able to do that.
It's gonna be a 3-floor hold coming out, I think, from the side of Aero Revolution. It is not the standard hold, I would say, but it is pretty common nowadays. I would say, especially I think I've seen it a lot more in NAL, where you have this kind of top-down hold, and this left breach open as well. I think I've seen this somewhere, even though I'm not gonna say where because I have no clue. And is that for impact tricking? Surely, is that for impact tricking? Surely not, right?
Don't know, man. Don't know. These teams are weird.
Well,
Anything is possible at this point.
I'm so confused, but it seems to be working out, and Venoms is playing so close, and the mute jammer as well. He's gonna have to swing, and if he swings, Venoms gets a kill. Just to remember. The smoke grenade comes out as well. Venoms, he has a nice angle. The smoke, he gets in, and it's a rush, I think, coming in, and Venoms and Tajin pick up 2 each. Matrix picks up 1, but the round is over, and I can't even
Clean up.
Clean up duty in this very
The
similar fashion
cleaners,
to round
the
2.
cleaners came and they cleaned up. I mean,
It happened so fast, I couldn't even...
they tried to do the same thing against you, and you cleaned them up the same way. So when it happened the other way around, it was a flawless round for Roar. So it looks like Roar is not learning from the enemy team's mistakes. I mean, what are you running through? Why are you running as well? That
what-
there's a narrow breach on that wall. There's one narrow spot that you can run through, and they know exactly where you can come from. It's not like the entire breach is open, so you have a little bit more freedom to take more gunfights. To maybe you have a wider angle or whatever it is. You're gonna have a little bit of a more fair gunfight. Here in this case, you just need to sprint in and hope that you're not gonna get shot. And that's just not a strategy because we're not in silver.
I mean, you have to give credit to Aero. That was a really, really good thought-out strategy. They had the ADSs on the drone hold. They had the beach jammer close to the wall. They knew an acid charge or a Lumia's gun can't get it unless they wide swing too much, in which case they would get killed. So the only way to them to do it is to nade, but if they nade, it's ADSs. And if you try to ADS to the drone hole, the Jaeger's foot, I think, was in the way, or Meat's foot was in the way. I think it would block it, or the ADS would activate anyways. I'm not sure about that. But regardless of that, it was an amazing bait, and the bait paid off amazingly well again. All 4 players funneling into the door, and all of 4 of them dying. Like Venoms, I've been there, SMG 11 player, you only have so many bullets, you pre-fire half, you kill 1, and like, okay, I killed 1, and then 2 more people come running in, and you're like, oh my god, what am I supposed to do? But overtime, who would have thought this happened?
Yeah, I didn't think so. Definitely, as Roar definitely it felt like they had this in the bag, and it really felt like they were dominant here. But it really looks like Aero is just really woken up right now. They're really coming back. They're ready to frag out. They're ready to make sure to show us why they're constantly drawing. And apparently that's the reason why, because they come back on the second map out of nowhere and they just win it out. That's how it looks like right now. And maybe that's gonna happen. They don't want to win. They don't want to they don't want to impact the standings, man. They're just nice people.
Oh my god, I thought he
Ooh,
got a kill for that.
Matrix. No, that's not what happened. But I mean, Matrix with a headshot there. Onto Slows. So I mean, that's amazing for the attackers right now. Is Slows was the constant annoying operator on Vigil, was constantly getting opening kills. Pinto is gonna be traded back by Cafu, I believe, and it's gonna be an equal 4v4 situation right now. As the attackers still have 2 minutes to work with here, Cafu is gonna go for a little bit of a flank. Doesn't look like anyone is aware, but I think they didn't even drone it out yet. So definitely they're gonna drone him out now, and he's gonna miss his shots on the drone, and he's gonna run right back. Smart man. There, you don't want to take these engagements over there. There's 4 attackers waiting for you to flank up that yellow stairs. So yeah, half the time here on the clock.
Yeah. I mean, it's been a very slow-paced round comparatively. He had 2 early picks, and now it's a minute 30 left on the round, and attackers are still scrambling to get upstairs control. You could see them on the repel, and maybe the repel did now. The diffuser also isn't piano. I'm not sure if they picked that up or they've noticed that or it's part of the plan, but it's something to keep in mind. But the vertical place does start to come out. Yeah, it is. It does start to come out. I thought that was the third floor for some reason, but no, the sledge is in piano. Not the sledge, the buck. The buck and the sledge, both of them are in piano, making a short work of the floor. Trying to get that easy pick. Ooh, Captain spawns one, lights up his foot a little bit, but nothing more than that. And risky is one thing to secondary peek it, makes more holes, makes it harder for the defender to play there. And I don't think if Leko hasn't been joined out, he can be in power position here if he hasn't been joined out, like I said, because I'll be honest, not many people will check this angle when they're pushing down, but the hatch above him gets open and suddenly, oh my god, okay, never mind, they're gonna push back a little bit, and just like that angle has been cancelled out. But 30 seconds left on the clock. The Jaeger has been joined out. I mean, not 40, more like 30 seconds. They're gonna have to execute soon enough. They're gonna try to get this Jaeger out the game first, but the Zofia seems to open it up. But Venom picks up a nice kill onto Fox, picks up a second onto Risky, on the spiral stairs. Venoms, he is carrying his team right now with these kills, is gonna do that, and Cafu picks up Matrix, leaving it all to Heymans, who was trying to flush out that Jaeger from Visa all the way, and I'm not even sure where he is at this point. I think he is gonna push spiral, and I think that's another free kill for Venoms. Venoms hits the shot, but doesn't do enough damage.
Okay. Alright. That happens.
Siege happens.
Operators, you have run out of time.
A solid round, and I think that's... I've done something fish. Well, you tried your best, Venoms. You got 2 kills, and that's what's more important. You got the impact frags, alright? That
He's doing a great job there, man. He's doing a great job there.
And honestly...
Give yourself some more credit, man.
And I think for the first time since the first round, Aero lead in this game.
Yes, I think they're leading for the first time besides that first round that they won. They're leading for the first time on 7-6 overtime here. So now they're on match point. And let's see if they can bring in this momentum, this energy towards the attack, because that's where they struggled, right? They struggled attacking. They only won 2 on the attack out of 6 rounds. So let's see if they're actually, if it was just the side of, on the map, just swapping from attacking to defending, or maybe they actually gonna feel different now because of momentum, because they already got some kills, they're already feeling better, and they definitely should feel better. As Slows is doing a great job, Gavo is doing a great job, Leko is trying to catch up, but Tenjin and Venoms as well on 11 kills each. I mean, these players just popping off right now, and they're feeling good, man. So I'm sure they're heading into attack confident here.
And I'm, like you said, I mean, if I'm thinking back to the first 6 rounds, I think there was a 4-2 clutch, I think, from the side of Ruhrsports, and that put them in a 4-2 split above. So if Aero Sports won that, hypothetically, that would have been a 3-3 split, which means I feel like they're more confident on their attacks. But then again, we haven't really seen them attack this one for much. There was that one rush, and then the second time where I think they got absolutely destroyed upstairs, I think, by the room. Don't quote me on that. My memory is really bad. I would say Goldfish has a better chance of remembering stuff than me. But it does seem to be a split take again from the side of Aero. I see 2 people repelling admin side, and I think there's a few people on garage, and maybe we're gonna push connector. We'll see how they decide to finish this up.
Yeah, it looks like they're gonna go for a little bit of an admin take here while joining out Visa. Pretty standard as far as I'm concerned here, and it looks like there's gonna be some drones who are gonna come from admin side, and a player that's gonna repel on CO side. So they're gonna just clear out the entire top floor, and the purpose here is, of course, to take piano control, make these vertical angles, and push towards the side on the execute when you have these vertical angles. breach out the wall, push towards the side. And now it's all up to execution, right? If they're actually able to do what they're planning on doing.
Hmm. And I mean, 2 minutes left on the clock. They've had a lot more vertical control than I think Ruhr Esports did at the time. I think Ruhr Esports started verticaling above at around a minute left, and I think Aero have one exact a minute above them. Actually, are they verticaling, or was that just a Maestro shotgun? Because I might just be waffling uh, really badly, and I think I was waffling badly
Man,
because I was.
all of
No, there's several upstairs. Okay, just slow take. Right.
all these defenders, I just want to say that all these defenders right now on Vor's side are on site. All of them. They're either on site or on the basement. In the basement. So there's no room to be worried about here. It just gives you free reign over this vertical right now. And as long as you have someone watching your yellow, hopefully you will have someone watching your yellow still soon, Castle. You're just gonna be free to do whatever you want here on the vertical angles. And as soon as that breach is gonna go off, these defenders are gonna have nowhere to play, and Plant will be able to go down quickly and efficiently here. As Matrix is gonna be watching out for these angles above him to no avail. As Sledge is gonna get that kill. I mean, great job from him, and he's gonna use these vertical holds really, really well. The breach is partially open. I'm not too sure if it was already soft before that or if it was actually breached by thermite. But they just need to get rid of the other K charge here. You just need to get rid of the other K charge here in order to run in. Pinto is gonna get down, and Venom is gonna actually team kill onto slows here, and Heyman is gonna get another kill. So the attackers are actually crumbling right now. It's 3-4 for them. As Risky is gonna get another kill. Leiko from the back though with a double kill. It's so impactful. 15 seconds here. Capo is gonna run towards the fuser. He's the one be able to get the kill on the Goyo. Fox is gonna get a kill in 1v1 situation for the Ash. Leiko is gonna try to clutch it out for his team in order to not lose this one out. And he will be able to. Leiko is gonna get that kill. He's gonna finish up this round, and they're gonna get that
What an
draw that they
amazing
love so
game.
much.
They don't win, but they don't lose. Aero team.
They love it, man.
They love it. And I mean, I just gonna highlight just before we end this as well, Leiko. What an amazing play. I mean, the team kill was unfortunate, and I'm not sure how it happened or if it's just unfortunate while he's getting off the plan. But I think especially Leiko having that game sense to go for that late flank as well, completely shut down everything there, and then evening that 1v1 at the end was just so. It's just a satisfying siege round to watch, right?
Yeah, definitely the play of the round from Leiko there, coming in behind the banana stairs, pushing down, getting these two defenders who were unaware completely from the back through the barricade. Great plays from him, and just generally really doing his job really well as a kind of a lurker entry, in a kind of lurker entry kind of role, right? So
Yeah.
that's exactly what you're expecting from him, and then he was able to clutch it out in the end instead of
Mhm.
you going into a 7-7 overtime, max overtime there. So just great all around plays from him. Nothing to say about that. And but besides that, the entire team just really put in work
Yeah.
to really come back from a 6-3 or 5-3. I don't know if they were
I'm not sure.
5-3 down or
It,
6-3 or
it was a
5-2.
big comeback.
Fi-
It was a big
It
comeback.
was 5-3, but it's still a big comeback though because it really felt like Roar had the momentum. They were really
Mhm.
riding it out, and for for Arrow to bring it
Mhm.
back after losing Villa, I wouldn't say they lost it hard, but they lost it, you know? And now you're
Yeah.
losing on consulate, you're losing again, and just keeping up that mentality, making sure that your spirits are high and you're able to come back when you have the opportunity to do so. It's just something that I want to commend. Well
Mhm.
played by them.
Yeah.
Great
Oh,
comeback. And
mhm.
I mean, I'm going to keep talking about the fact that they constantly drawing, but nevertheless, it was well played.
It makes for good entertainment, you know. Are you
Yeah,
gonna draw next
definitely.
week? Oh, I guess you're gonna have to watch and find out.
It, I mean, I'm happy. I don't really mind these draws just because they're playing two maps.
Yeah.
It's not really. It's
It's a
kind of an
ball game.
individual. Every map is individual from each other, and I would say that's fair. I would say
Yeah.
that's a fair format. I don't have any problems with that.
I think it's
We
fine.
need to adjust the minors, though. I'm gonna say it every stream, man. We need to adjust the minors, and we will adjust
Eventually,
them.
man. Eventually,
W-
it's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen,
Master
and
power. Mm.
I'm happy with this game. It was an exciting game to cast,
Yeah.
exciting game to watch, and I'm just looking forward to more of these kind of games. I really feel like we need more of these really close over. I mean, I
Mhm.
think like this is the first or the second overtime that I casted in Talent League. Maybe the second time that I casted at least. So it doesn't happen often, and overtimes usually don't happen as often as they should, in my personal opinion, because
Mhm.
these teams should be closer to each other in terms of their level.
Yep. And like I said, most teams that they lose round by small margins. It's not flawless rounds. They lose rounds in 1v1s, and that adds up. If you see a 7-3 scoreline, it's not they dominated it's because they won their 1v1s at the end. And there's a lot to factor in. There's no bad team. Basically, what I'm trying to say in this league, they're all really good players in their own right.
Definitely. I mean, there's a lot of individual skill in the league, and I'm just looking forward to seeing more of it, to see how is this gonna develop, and who's gonna end up in playoffs. That's definitely an exciting one to think about. And as I say that, I guess we're gonna wrap it up. There's no interview today, just because we
Mhm.
had a draw. Thank you, Aero, for that one. No interview for me to interview any player. No one's to pick their brains. But it's okay. It's okay. We had an exciting game. I'm happy with that.
Mhm.
And that's it. Any final words from you before we wrap it up?
Stay hydrated. Tune in next time to the next stream, and yeah, we'll see you next time.
Stay hydrated, kids. You heard it here. And have a good night.
Good night.